Hello, my name is Carlos Campos. I'm going to be going over my robot perception term course project. So just a quick description of the problem. Honestly, it's all just rooted on the understanding and the fundamentals of SLAM, which is simultaneous localization and mapping. It's broken up into three major phases: exploration, identifying markers, and autonomously navigating to the wanted marker. Now, if you take a quick look, the exploration is just all I really want, my end goal is to create a 2D plot of a bird's eye view of where the robot has traversed and where the obstacles are located. Identifying markers, that's pretty self-explanatory. I want to be able to capture and recognize environment markers given the texture data set. I also want to be able to autonomously navigate to the wanted marker. Now, I wanted to use the concept of rapidly exploring random tree algorithm, but that it was explored, but due to implementation complexity, it's no longer autonomously, it's more semi-autonomously, and I'll get into it in the next slide. So for exploration, this will be totally manual control. As the robot is traversing, my coordinates will be updated, and it will only be stored once I press the spacebar. And the reason I press the spacebar is to basically capture what the robot is seeing at the moment. And this will all this information is going to be stored into an array. And the array you can see at the bottom is going to store where I took the screenshot itself, and at the end of the exploration phase slash the start of the navigation phase is going to list out all the markers, so all the texture packs that were recognized in that photo. And that is useful because once I'm in navigation officially, once the target images are presented, the front image will be processed first because, in theory, the screenshots uh, taken all have been in first person point of view, which means that I should have a high probability of matching at least one marker from the array from the array that was set during the end of the exploration phase. But let's say none of them are matched. Then I'll move on to the left, right, and back target images. All of this is contingent on how many screenshots I take. So I don't want to take too many, but I also don't want to take too few. And so if none of them are matched, that means a manual control will just be initiated and a map of where I traverse will pop up. Now, let's say there is a match. It's simply just going to spit out where that screenshot was taken, and I would use manual control to arrive to that target and then align myself so that I can match the 2x2 target screen. I'm going to pull up my code, and I'll pull up the game that is already loaded. So here, I'm sorry if it's a little laggy. My computer is just having a hard time trying to screen record this and have this game running at the same time. So as you can see, if I move around, my X and Y coordinates are being displayed currently. I've done this just so that you can visually see it, but it would actually be commented out when this is actually running, because the only time I need to store this information is when I press the spacebar. And when I click the spacebar, you're going to see that it prints out current frame saved to saved frames, and it's just the frame number. And this is actually saved in a folder that will be made. This is all made through the code, and it's going to be saved in the VisNav player folder. And that is going to be used this is going to be used with my algorithms to detect what textures are actually being presented in the screenshot that I'm taking. So let's say now I end my exploration phase, I enter navigation. Now, before I want to do anything is actually, I want to run this algorithm. I want to run what textures are being displayed in my front, left, back, right view images, and what textures I already have collected from exploring the maze. So by doing that, I click the right shift key on the keyboard. It prints out navigation just to let me know, like, all right, I've accessed it. And here it is. It's gonna be going through everything. It's gonna see what textures are in the back images. It's gonna store it. Right now it starts with the back. It's gonna run through all four of them just to show you guys that it has the capacity of going through each and every one of them. But then again, it's gonna have to go through all the screenshots that I took in my save frames folder, and it has to verify which is which. So this is pretty time consuming. And the only thing that's really negative about it is that I cannot move the robot around. But once I have that coordinate spit out, I'm able to traverse and get to my desired location. All this math is going to be done in the background. None of these would be displaying. It's just displaying right now to show you that it is working. It is getting some data, but for the purposes of the video, I'm going to cut it here. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me via Slack or email. And thank you.